Hello, Planeswalker. Welcome to One Pack of Magic, where we open one pack of Magic cards. Sooner or later. Yeah. We got Ravnica Remastered, which actually came out back in January, but I couldn't get a hold of it, and then things happened, and so now I was actually able to obtain a couple packs. So, like I said, better late than never. Here we go. The only reason I really care about this set is that they have some of the old border cards available. Let's see if I gotta do. Yeah, okay. Good. Okay, first off, there's a burb. 1/1 flyer. There's the Rakdos Guildgate. Enters the battlefield tapped at black or red. Alright. Now, since they draft pack, they put like backwards. So, starting off, Act of Treason. 2 and a red, sorcery, gain control of target creature until end of turn. Untap that creature, it gains haste until end of turn. Seen through Rakdos' eyes, a cruel betrayal is a hilarious stunt. I like that line. Macabre Waltz. 1 and a black, sorcery, return up to 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to your hand, then discard a card. Simple enough. Shadow Alley Denizen. Single black, vampire rogue, 1/1. Whenever another black creature enters the battlefield under your control, target creature gains intimidate until end of turn. Which is something they really don't use anymore. Can't be blocked except by artifact creatures and or creatures that share a color with it. Intimidate used to be couldn't be blocked except by like black and artifact, but yeah. 10 Street Dodger. The Goblin Rogue, single red Goblin Rogue, 1/1 haste. Pay 1 red. 10 Street Dodger can't be blocked this turn except by creatures with Defender. Because he's an artful dodger. Basilica Guards. 2 and a white, human soldier, 1/4 with Defender. Well, there you go. They can stop the 10 Street Dodger. Extort. Whenever you cast a spell, you may pay black-white splitzy. If you do, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain that much life. See, that I like. So, you know, multiplayer, everyone loses 1, you gain 3. That's how it should be, honestly. But, what do I know? Downsize. Oh. Eat them all. Single blue instant. Target creature you don't control gets -4/-0 until end of turn. Overload 2 and a blue. You may cast this spell for its overload cost. If you do, change target in its text to each. Ooh, that would definitely overload. Especially as an instant. Keening as Apparition. Sorry about that. 1 and a white spirit, 2/2. Sacrifice Keening Apparition. Destroy target enchantment. Well, that'll do it. Judge is familiar. But how familiar is he? White-blue splitsy. Burb. 1/1 flying. As you do. Sacrifice Judge's Familiar. Counter target instant or sorcery spell unless its controller pays 1. Well, that's kind of... Well, I mean, it's a single blue, so... It's a single, mana, so yeah, that makes sense. Arboreal Grazer. It's a single green beast. 0/3 with reach, which makes no sense. Well, I guess it defends. When Arboreal Grazer enters the battlefield, you may put a lane card from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. Simple enough. Titanic Brawl. 1 and a green instant. This spell costs 1 less to cast if it targets a creature you control with a 1/1 counter on it. Target creature you control fights target creature you don't control. Each deals damage equal to its power to the other. I think we're up to the uncommons. Azorius Justicar. 2 white human wizard, 2/2. When Azorius Justicar enters the battlefield, detain up to 2 target creatures your opponents control. Until your next turn, those creatures can attack or block, and their activated abilities can't be activated. That'll do it. With that, we'll do it. Debt to the Deathless. It is X, white, white, black, black, sorcery. Each opponent loses 2 times X life. You gain life equal to the life lost this way. Ooh. So if you pay like 5, yeah. Everyone's losing 10 life and you're gaining 20. Or definitely a multiplayer card. Plague Crafter. 2 and a black, human shaman. I was about to say human sacrifice. 3/2. When Plague Crafter enters the battlefield, each player sacrifices a creature or planeswalker. Each player who can't discards a card. And a rare, which yeah, I saw it was the old border art, but Cindervines, that old gold border. It is a red-green enchantment. Whenever an opponent casts a non-creature spell, Cindervine deals 1 damage to that player. Pay 1, sacrifice Cindervines, destroy target artifact or enchantment. Cindervines deals 2 damage to that permanent's controller. Oof. Alright. I don't know. One of my cards. Not much going on here, but let's do the rundown anyway. This is a good enchantment. Especially against, spell-heavy decks. So, I mean, it says non-creature spells, so sorceries, instants, and I think artifacts. Other enchantments. So, probably battles now, too. Because that's a non-creature spell. So, that'd be pretty good to have. I would sideboard it, honestly. I probably wouldn't play in the main deck, but if the person I'm playing against spell heavy, that's getting thrown in there. Especially for only 2 mana. Oof. Keep it in play until further notice. That's pretty good. I mean, especially if you, like, get rid of a bunch of creatures beforehand and then play Plague Crafter, then they got to discard. So, that's pretty nasty. This would devastate multiplayer. I mean, Commander or otherwise. Just, you just have to get... Well, I mean, you don't really have to have that many lands. You just have to have enough mana sources to pull this off. So, it'd be a fun little thing to build around. But if something happens to... But that's the thing about Commander. You only get 1, so if something happens to it, you're screwed. This is good. Especially if your opponent has a couple of creatures they keep attacking with or using abilities on. Lock them down. Well, I mean, green is known for counters, so yeah, it would be pretty easy. I probably would. It would fit well, and it would be fun in a green deck. Not for your opponent, mind, but that's a good way to get a free land, especially if you get this in your opening hand. Put down a green, tap, put that into play. Then you can put an additional land in automatically, and then boom, you're ramping up. You are off to the races before your opponent can even start. It's alright. I mean, yeah, you're paying 1, you're sacrificing it to make your opponent pay 1, which in the early game, yes, could be very useful. But late game, not really. So, sideboard. I would sideboard this one if I were to play it, because if your opponent's not really using enchantments, it's a 2/2. But I mean, it doesn't even have flying like most spirits do. So the only reason to have, I was gonna say, if they're enchantment heavy, but if they don't use enchantments, there's no real reason to use it. So, sideboard probably. I do love the Overload. Overload is nasty. everyone gets -4, especially like, oh, you're attacking with all these people. They've all been downsized. Now they ain't doing nothing. I'm going to block with all these creatures, and they're dead. Fun times. Oh, it's whenever you cast a spell. Oh, I thought it was just this spell, but no. Ooh. So, I think we got a one-pack combo now that I read this. But you have that out. Pay debt to the deathless. Use that. And then extort to get more. Make them lose more, get you more. There, oof. That is a nasty little combo right there. So yeah. This is cute. You know, especially if you put him in a goblin deck, he'd be really nasty. You know, pump him up with other goblin things, and then pay 1 red. Boom, he can't be blocked. Deal damage. And then it put an enchantment on him where, like, if ever he deals damage, the opponent has to discard. Even nastier. That's not bad. I mean, as I say, it's a vampire, so you can't keep her alive. But that's a pretty good thing to, you know, target creature gains Intimidate. If your opponent's playing a mono color deck, that could be very devastating. So, that's not bad. I do like that. It's a good, yeah, it's a simple little 2-for-1 spell. So I do like that. Act of Treason is kind of an evergreen thing. It pops up every couple of sets. So, I think mostly in Ravnica sets, but may have been in other sets. It's a good card. MVP, for me, anyway, I'm going to give it to the Cindervines, for obvious reasons. Runner-up, though, it's going to be the 10th Street Dodger. Because, again, you throw him in you know, he's a single red with haste. And you can always, you know, use that 1 red for later to make him unblockable and just ping your opponent to death. At least until they nuke him. So that is Ravnica Remastered. Not really much. I mean, alright pull, but not fantastic. I'm going to be honest, I kind of wasn't really in when Ravnica was out. So, I don't really feel any nostalgia for these cards. But I feel, like I said, I feel nostalgia for this old school border. In any case, I'll see you tomorrow. Have a magical day.